Hey everyone, it's Jon Miller here. Now I know you've all tuned in to see episode 50, the summit episode, and I will get to that episode, but first I want to do a little bit of housekeeping here, have some information to give to all of you, and I need to ask all of you for a favor. First off, the podcast awards are coming up, and I need all of your help to nominate the rest of Everest for this year's podcast awards. You can nominate me. I'm going to try for the travel category, since that's the main category I've been listed in iTunes, and so I'd really appreciate it if all of you could go to podcastawards.com and nominate me in the travel category. But you know, I certainly wouldn't mind People's Choice or Best Produced. You can nominate me in those as well. The nominations begin July 1st. That's just in a few days if you're watching this as I'm releasing it. So really need your help. I would love to go to this awards ceremony and hopefully walk away with an award. That would just be the coolest thing ever, and I know so many of you really enjoy the show, and it would be great if you could help me out with that. The other thing, a good friend of mine, another Fort Collins resident, is going to be heading back to Everest in 2008, and he's another guy climbing for a cause. This year he's going to be climbing to raise money for Alzheimer's research. His name's Alan Arnett. I've mentioned his website before, alanarnett.com, but I just want all of you to go to his website, check out his Denali 2007 page. As I'm releasing this, he is going for the summit of Denali, also known as Mount McKinley, up in Alaska, the highest mountain in North America, and he's been releasing kind of voicemail episodes of his trip the same way I did in Tibet to his website, and so you can follow along. He's already been out there for a couple of weeks, so the summit is coming up, so go ahead and check out his website, and we'll be following Alan over the next several months as he gets ready for Everest in 2008. So Alan, I wish you the best of luck on this summit of Denali. All right, and the last thing, this is an experiment that we're trying out this week. We have a sponsor. The sponsor is the Alpinier. Now the Alpinier is a long-standing outdoor equipment shop located in Crested Butte, Colorado, and they have expanded everything to an online presence, so you don't need to be a local to buy from them. You can actually buy from them right over the internet. They have a tremendous range of equipment for outdoor pursuits, and they have a lot of information on their website. And it's a pretty cool place, and I'm really fortunate that they're willing to try this experiment. If you order from the Alpinier and you enter the coupon code of Everest, you get 10% off your order. So, there's the ad up on the screen there. Take a look at their website, and if you don't buy anything there, hey, shoot an email to them to let them know that you saw their ad on the rest of Everest. That helps us out, helps with the future. We got so many cool things in store. Yes, this is the summit episode coming up, but hey, as you probably figured out, it's not the end of the story. The summit is not the end of the story on Everest. There's going to be lots of episodes coming up after this episode, so don't worry about that. All right, so enough of this housekeeping. Let's join our regularly scheduled program. Here we go.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 50, May 22nd, Summit Day.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Rest of Everest video podcast. I'm Jon Miller. This is the episode I know most of you have probably been waiting for, though I hope it's not the only thing you guys have been watching for. Today, we are going to get to the summit of Mount Everest, and I am fortunate enough today to have two of the guys who were there. Ben Clark down in Telluride, Colorado. How you doing, Ben?
Good, John. What's shaking?
Not too much. It's exciting. It's very cool. Episode 50. And Lhawang Dandup out in Berkeley, California. How you doing, Lhawang?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Really want to just stop and let anyone who's a new viewer know that if you're just joining the show, stop what you're doing, go back to the beginning, watch it from episode 0 on, There's no need to jump right to the summit. There's so much more that happens before this. This is the 50th episode, so watch all 49 other episodes plus all the bonus stuff in there to get a really good idea of everything. But for those of you who have been following since episode 0, let's not wait any longer. Let's get up and start episode 50. Here we go. Okay, so as usual, we start from Jon's vantage point. This is back down at base camp, and there's Boka Lama trying to get in touch with the guys. So this is getting on towards the afternoon, or this is probably late morning, and we had no idea where you guys were.
Summit of Mount Everest. A long way from talking.
Did you guys even take the radio with you, or it just was too cold and windy to take out?
No. I don't think we took it on the summit day because it was kind of like we start really. It's pretty early, right?
Yeah.
Like we were the second team. Yeah. Like right after that, there was a Korean or something.
Yeah. That was that lady who was from California that went in front of us, and she was like a good hour and a half in front of us. She left super early.
You see the summit.
And then I think we were like this. Yeah, we were the second one, so we didn't have to wait for anyone at the second step or first step or any of that stuff. But then everybody, there was like a huge train of lights coming after us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she was with the Russell Bryce. I remember that. Puteshi was with her, the one of the Sherpa.
Yep. And one of the Sherpa had on like the overcoat, like the trench coat on the summit. I think one of the people she climbed with.
Well, this video here shows what it looked like from down below. You can see that this was not ideal summit conditions by any stretch of the imagination. This is sped up a little bit so you can see the clouds moving. Those are birds flying past at great speed. But, yeah, I mean, was this the kind of summit weather you guys would prefer to have?
Not so much.
But sometimes, like, down low, it's kind of a little bit cloudy and things like that. Could be, like, pretty nice up high, like when you reach certain elevation. But that wasn't like on the summit day. We had really pretty bad weather. Like it wasn't like if we knew the weather's gonna be that bad, we wouldn't be like doing the summit at time.
It was just gnarly. There's the summit shot.
This is the summit.
This is the summit. This is the tippy top. You barely see some gloves. This guy sitting behind me, he was like, "Yeah, can you?" We just gotten there. We're sitting down. He had just come up from the south side. And he was like, "Can you move out of the way? I really want to take a picture." I just looked at him and laughed. It's like, no, man. It's like I'm beat.
Yeah, I'm putting these photos in the order they were taken, and Lhakpa took all these photos, and I think his thumb or his forefinger hit the shutter button a few times. That was a shot looking down at your boots. So that's you, and actually that's Lhawang right at the side of the screen, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. No, I was hoping Lhakpa get us both in there. Got down, and I was like, wait a minute, like, where's Lhawang? Oh, man, yeah, that was a wild spot. There's Lhawang leaning in on the photo. It's like, hey, Lhakpa.
And wasn't Lhakpa like, okay, click, and then he'd take...
Yeah, he's just like, okay, ready, boom, 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 done. Yeah, he was ready to go. The City of Fort Collins banner, that was cool.
That banner, yeah, that banner I believe is hanging in City Hall in Fort Collins to this day.
Really? Uh-huh. Yeah, the weather was so bad, like it could be anywhere, but it was on the tippy top of Everest.
I know. I could have taken this to Telluride ski area this winter. We'd be like, yeah, that's on top of Baldy over there, about 12,000 feet. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a wild day.
That's a nice photo. That's a good one.
Award-winning perspective right there.
Now, were you guys happy to be up there, or were you guys kind of faking smiles and just sort of like, okay, let's just do this and get down?
Yeah, we were a little tired, but we were happy, definitely, like once you get to the top, because that's where you kind of like, you've been working for like months and months. So finally at the top, and then you have to worry about getting down too. So, but I think still it's good to be. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good feeling. But then I remember thinking about just how much once we got in there, it was like, man, you take your photos, you kind of look around, and it was storming so hard. It just kind of felt like, man, it's gonna be a bear getting down this thing. I think it felt like leaving was on the agenda, knowing that was going to be so much more difficult in that storm, because we didn't know how much stronger that thing was going to get, and it had gotten to the point where we were, pretty cold. So I was kind of just feeling cool about getting up there, but at the same time, mostly just feeling like, man, I'm ready to get out of here.
There's Lhawang.
Hardcore. Yeah, it's a good shot.
So Lhawang, just tell me, what flag is that?
Oh, that's a Tibetan flag.
How'd it feel to hold that up there? This is your first summit, isn't it?
Yep. It was pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. Now tell us about who that photo is.
That's Babu, who died on 2001 on Everest. We did a bunch of climbing together, and then also we own a business, and we spent quite a bit of time together. So.
All right, so obviously this is back down, and this is when we finally get in touch with you guys.
Is that Lhawang?
Yeah.
Ben Clark, this is John, over.
John, I'll hand over to Ben Clark, over.
Thank you, Lhawang, over.
Well, we spent the night here last night. We got up early.
Yeah, I want to get those guys in on the shot. They look pretty happy.
Keep talking, I can hear you loud and clear, over.
Summited.
When did you summit, Ben?
About 9 o'clock Nepalese time. Man, it was the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life. There's no way I could have done it without Lhawang and Lhakpa. These guys are amazing. Just trying to pick our way through the second step in the dark when the sun was starting to come up. That's the crux of the route. That's when the weather started to turn, and we got some weather today. The left foot was frozen. The face was a little windburned. And I tell you what, I don't even know what to think. I just want to get down safe and sit in base camp for ABC and then start thinking about it.
Ben, I haven't known you for very long, but I'm so proud of you, man. I mean, I'm crying down here at base camp because it's been so emotional, not knowing where you guys are, and just really hoping that you've made the summit today. And I'm so glad to hear that you're safe. Over.
Almost cried for about 5 seconds away from the top. Then I realized, you know what? I'm probably gonna freeze my face and frostbite it.
I know that was the hardest thing you've ever done, and you did it just by putting one foot in front of the other. But I want you to know that you were lifted up to the top of the mountain by the thoughts and prayers of hundreds of people back in the United States and also around the world. They've been following my dispatches that I've been sending out as often as possible. And you've had a lot of sleepless people back in America. Over.
I hope they can get some rest, because I know I'm about to. It's, I know, the support of everybody else is the only thing that can get me here. That's how, if it wasn't for everybody else trying so hard, if it wasn't for everyone, and then, even today, Lhawang and Lhakpa, if it wasn't for them, there was no summit, there'd be no way to do this dream, there'd be no way to even conceive trying to get out of here and take care of things. I appreciate everything you've done. I know I'm probably now about the same stage you are. I'm trash. But I tell you what, I'm beaming. I got a good smile going. And I realized that, you know what? Today I summited Mount Everest 5 years ago. All I had was this thought. And I didn't do it the normal way, did it in a way that I thought was a little more fun.
Come back. Come back, over.
Lost you for a sec. Yeah, you wouldn't believe this place. I mean, it's like it doesn't relent. I thought, at times, we'll have a cruiser day, getting up to a certain point. Man, this is the Himalayas. Don't think that. You gotta really focus. And I felt strong today, going out. I got one of the strongest days, obviously, I've ever had climbing. But I had to have it. And I really am glad that everybody was praying for me and wanted me to get it, because, man, I had to have one of the best days of my life today in order to get this mountain.
You really, I can't overemphasize just how many emails I've received over the past 2 days. We thought you were going to Summit yesterday, and I just, there's no way I can describe to you just how in everyone's thoughts you were, and all of the positive energy that was flowing up that mountain for you. Over.
With all that came a big white cloud, too. We didn't get to see anything on top. But, maybe I can climb the South Col sometime. It was amazing getting up there. And I always said, I'll never summit if I can't see anything. But I tell you what, I got over that second step. And I said, boy, I'm never doing this thing again. Not this route. And I'm just glad that everybody's thoughts are there to lift me and to help me with this climb. But like I said, when it comes down to it, if those thoughts weren't there, neither would Lhakpa or Lhawang be, and they were really the driving force to get to the top today. Without them, their support, Lhakpa helping and Lhawang being back there and saying, come on.
I want you to know that I sent out some photographs and some nice words today about Dawa and Boko Lama standing right next to me right now. They're just as excited as me. They're on camera with me right now. And I wanted everyone to know just how important they've been from my side of things. They've been trying the radio relentlessly for the past 2 days. And I just want you to know that I gave them credit where credit was due. Over.
Good. You tell Boko we're going to go dancing. Catman, too.
I think Boca's going to do a little dance tonight. yeah, Dawa agrees with me. Over.
Funny guy. They're great folks, for sure. Yeah, they've been a great assistance. Boca has done a lot of carries. We've had some of the worst weather on record here at Everest. But, summiting today, we summited in bad weather. That's Himalayan climbing at its finest. And that's, that's the trade-off. You really want it, you got to get out there. Like I said, first attempt was totally unsuccessful. Got up to 7,400 meters, and I said, man, I just can't handle this. But I also said, hey, you're not going to get to the top, you're not going to climb in any winds, or you think you're going to climb in fair weather. And boy, climbing some horrible stuff.
I have two more things that are sort of mandatory. The first is how really are you feeling? How is your health after that ordeal? Over.
No headache, no nausea, other than a dry throat and a gag reflex. I feel good, considering we didn't drink. Between the three of us, we had a quart of water for summit day. And, that's definitely what you have to do. It's going to take time. You got to keep moving steady. Other than that, I don't want to go out and run a marathon tomorrow, and I guarantee I probably lost 20 pounds. All that Ben and Jerry and what was it? A better panic ice cream. So,
starting to break up. Still have battery power. Yeah, we'll definitely have to load you up with all of the ice cream, and then we'll get you a few of our favorite pizzas when we get back home. Over.
I want some jack meat, fried jack meat.
Fried jack meat. He wants fried jack meat. Well, Ben, I've been waiting 2 long months on this moraine to say this to you, but congratulations, Ben. You've climbed Mount Everest. Over.
Thanks a lot, John. You're the kicker. I don't think anybody's more.
You're breaking up. Can you repeat that? Over.
I don't think anybody could be more surprised than I could. I told that to Don. I didn't get to call anybody today. My roommate, Don, I told him before I left, I said, man, these things are hard to climb. If I get to the top, I don't think anybody's going to be more surprised than I am, and I'm not. I'm completely surprised. I can't believe it, but I keep my head on straight, get on down. Still got half a climb to go.
Well, Ben, enough with this radio nonsense. Go get some rest, and we'll see you down here at base camp in another day or so. Over.
All right, 3. See ya.
Bye, and congratulations, man. That's just, I can't even describe how happy I am. Over and out. Bye. He did it.
Yep.
I love what Boca does there at the end. All right. Well, hey, Lhawang, for the record, I want to tell you that I was proud of you, too. I just didn't know you as well back then, but you and I have spent a lot more time together since then, and I'm really proud of you and Lhakpa as well. I just didn't say it on tape. I just want to say that for the record.
No problem.
Well,
my pleasure.
I think this episode is really it's pretty cool because it shows, you know, for people who've been watching all the episodes, that the summit, although it's what everyone's there for, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, just being a guy down at base camp, but it seems like it was just such a short period of time that you were there.
Yeah, well, it is short, and it's like, I mean, the more that I've continued to climb since then, I mean, this was 4 years ago for me, it's like, the more you start to realize, I mean, the summit is a big deal when it comes to a peak like that, and you know, it's definitely a big part of sort of the goal orientation of climbing, but you know, it is very short-lived. That's why when you don't summit other mountains, like, I mean, you know, there are so many fantastic places to be on Mount Everest that are really inspiring and really beautiful. But you know, when we got to the summit, it was more of a personal feeling. It was less about sort of the aesthetics. It was less about maybe the view. It was less about, you know, there was no esoterical or philosophical, you know, horn music or like, you know, Buddhist chanting or anything. It's just like, we're here, we're psyched, we're glad to be here, but we can't live here. We can't stay here for hours on end in this storm. And so it makes you kind of identify that, you know, that summit is a very personal thing. when you can reach there after all that commitment. But that in no way does that diminish any of the beauty of the route or the rest of the Himalayas in any way. And I think that's why so many people continue to go back there, and summit, twice or 4 times or 6 times or whatever, or people who haven't made the summit continue to go back there, is that it's still a really beautiful place. But yeah, the top is definitely a short stop on the way, but it's a damn good feeling when you get there.
Lhawang, how did you feel? You'd been on several Everest expeditions, and this was your first time on the summit. How was that for you?
It's pretty much same feeling as Ben explained. It's because you've been it's not like something else, like a summit of like every mountain. When you like reaching to the top is the always bonus, but now you have more kind of like aesthetic or adventure getting to the top, not just like the top only. But when you reach to the top, and the only thing like you worry about is like make sure now it's like expedition is successful, reaching to the top. Now the other thing you have to like think about is worry, or the thing about is like be safe and make sure like everybody doesn't get any kind of like any accident or anything like bad thing happen. So try to complete the whole thing. That's still there's like some sort of little stress left. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty nice to get to the top, and especially you like appreciate more like once you get down and then look at it up. It's kind of like I think a little bit maybe like ego thing, I'm sure, because we all are human beings. So, but at the same time, you feel some sort of like achievement when you reach to the top.
That's great. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you guys, allowing me to ask questions and share this. This was a very personal experience for you guys, and we're putting it out there for the world. And I really appreciate your assistance in helping me to get all of this out to the world in general. And you guys, I have to say that being a non-climber, Everest certainly changed my life in some incredibly profound ways. I don't think I'm the same person now that I was when I arrived at Everest, and I so much of that had to do with both of you. And so I just really want to say thank you for touching my life in such an amazing way, and it just I'll never be the same, and I really want to say thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we will either, John.
But this isn't the end, and I don't want anyone to think that this is the last episode. There's still a lot more from this trip. They still have to get down. Did you guys get down, or are you guys still up there?
Yeah. I think Lhawang made it down. I don't know where I am.
All right. Well, one last thing. I want to. You guys both have. Obviously you're both professional mountaineers, so I want to give you a chance to just sort of give yourself some plugs here. Lhawang, you have a company that does expeditioning and guiding services and whatnot in the Himalaya, and you want to just tell people where they can find that?
Sure. I work for I've been working as a guide for quite a bit years, and while I'm in the States, I work for this company called the Mountain Link, and they do summits all over the all over the places, mostly 7 summits, and then in the Himalayas, I work for this company. Yeah, I kind of work for myself, or own a company called the Nomad Expedition, and eventually, my partner changed the name called Mount Tribe, and it was started by me and another really legend Himalayan climber called the Babu Sherpa. Babutin Sherpa, who passed away on Everest 2001. And yeah, Everest is like a lot of things to do with my life too, same as Jon. So that's why like my first summit was like holding a picture of him, pretty much dedicating to him. And so we have this small company called Mount Tribe, and in Kathmandu we do trips all over the Himalayas.
And let me tell you, these guys are amazing. And you know them. Are you guys watching? You know all these guys. You know, there's a lot of the same people are still working for Lhawang and Lhakpa still works for you, and Dawa, the cook, and Karma. You guys all know these guys. So, you know, in a way, it's kind of like family. So, all right, Ben, what are you doing these days?
I want to throw in a plug for Lhawang's company as well. Karma, one of the people that he works with, is an absolute, he's a logistical, just total, I mean, he's just a guru. He's a guy who can get anything done at any point in time, it seems like, just with a spotty satellite phone call from the middle of nowhere. And all the different people they have on staff are all phenomenal people, very hardworking, very honest, very kind people. Everyone there, I think there's not anyone there I wouldn't trust with anything. And I can certainly vouch not only for Everest, but for a separate 8,000-meter peak on Dhaulagiri, and also this last spring when I visited Shishapangma. You know, if it hadn't been our cook, Gilu, did the most fantastic job keeping us healthy, making the best food that you can imagine, you know, and just I think all the people that work with mountain tribes and Nomad and Lhawang Karma are fantastic people that you absolutely, if you visit the Himalayas, whether you want to climb unsupported or you want to climb, you know, with porters or whatnot on the Annapurna circuit or Everest Base Camp, you know, popular objectives or totally remote stuff, you are in good hands if you get a hold of these guys. And I can guarantee you not only will leave feeling like you have been absolutely treated with respect and with a total warm greeting every morning and sort of warmth for the Nepali culture, but you'll feel like you made friends with people who really genuinely are fantastic human beings. So I recommend anyone that's going to go to Himalaya, you get a hold of Lhawang and Karma and mountain tribes. And then, yeah, Jon, you're asking, I'm guiding as well still. I just actually got back from a 6-day, week-long mountaineering seminar. I've been working for about 10 straight days now, climbing peaks left and right here in the San Juans. If anybody wants to learn how to rock climb or wants to learn how to become a mountaineer and you've got little or no experience, or you want to just advance your knowledge, you can always log on to www.tellyourideadventures.com. I work for a guide service called the San Juan Outdoor School, and it's a phenomenal little place out here we have in Telluride, and these mountains. When I came back from the Himalayas this time, and I've said it many times before, I almost feel like I'm missing out by leaving and traveling around the world when I come home here and see just how good these mountains are. So if you don't have the time or the resources to get all the way halfway across the world to Asia, come out to the San Juans, and you will not regret the majesty and beauty of these peaks either. So keep that in mind.
All right, and if you need any gear, buy it from alpineer.com.
Yeah, get it from alpineer.com. That's Alpineer is a fantastic store in Crested Butte. They actually had me out this last January, did a film little screening out there at the Crested Butte Center for the Arts. It was really great. Had a great turnout and had a really good time hanging out with the locals there in Crested Butte. And the owner of the Alpineer there, Travis Underwood, is a really good guy and was interested in starting to advertise with us as we are trying to build and continue to build more of this type of content for you guys, our viewers. We want to make sure you're always getting a chance to learn more about the big peaks. And luckily, the Alpineer helped us out with our recent trip as well. So when we do a podcast on the 2007 trip that I went on, we'll talk more about the Alpineer. But yeah, that's a great place to get your gear there, and telemarkski.com. go check it out. Let them know that you've been watching our podcasts, and hopefully we'll be able to continue to advertise for people and continue to create great content for you all, and just continue to spread the word. So thanks a lot to Alpenier and to you, our viewers.
All right, guys, this has gone on long enough. I'll let you go, and I will be leaving you guys alone for the next couple episodes while I show some of the stuff that took place while you guys were getting down the mountain. And but we'll have you back. And again, everyone viewing this, there's lots more to come from this 2003 expedition. So thanks a lot, Ben. Thanks a lot, Lhawang. And we'll see all of you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every week. If you enjoy watching and would like to show your support, then take a look at my website. Aside from having lots of additional blog entries from the expedition updated every week, there's this little donation button on every page. Now, many of you have pressed that button, and your generous contributions are helping to cover my hosting fees. If you haven't donated but would like to, then just contribute any amount. In return, I'll give you access to the video and audio dispatches I sent out while we were actually at Everest. It's pretty interesting stuff. Contribute $25 or more, and I'll even throw in an iPod-compatible version of the film Everest: The Other Side. That's the project the entire podcast here is based on. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywu.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.